fake elections. He's going to file lawsuits, disqualify more than 2 million Wisconsin ballots. He's also going to sue, which is kind of very funny, Facebook and Instagram because of their fake news and fake ballots, which is kind of very funny. You know, you want to sue somebody, sue them. Why not? And there's a lot of craziness. Nobody wants to be a sore loser. It went back to the days of Barbara Mikulski and somebody else. Just nobody wants to be a sore loser of all of this. I get it. You know, fake elections, fake votes, the ballot box, and the voting system is effed up. Still, to all these elections, they still mess up the votes. Before this, there's other elections where they mess up the votes. I remember when Bush was trying to be elected, they still mess up the votes, the counting and all that stuff, and this wrong thing and this wrong another. It's always they mess up the votes. When we can get stuff right? We're going this back and forth cycle of messing up the votes. Still to this day, I mean, this is 2020. You think that things can get more advanced and get more better? No. Still mess up the votes after all these years. When we can get things right, are still messing up the votes and just pick a person for Christ's sake. Nothing can get right around here. It seems like every yesteryear is repeats again and again and again, and nothing seems to get right, people. And speaking of things that get right, telemarketers and scam artists that call the phone. Again, with technology coming in, you know, trying to beat these scam artists and beat these little scammers, still have no technology to get rid of these motherfuckers out of here. It's 2020, people. We are now 29 days away from next year, and still the same shit comes around. Nothing gets changed. I remember way back then in the 90s, you're supposed to have flying cars in 2020 and freaking rocket ships. Where are they at? It seems like every time somebody tells the future, there's always a lie going around. I don't get this year. I don't get, well, next year will be something fucking different. We'll be the same shit every year. But sometimes you never get things right with these ballots.
They already got
counting
flying
votes.
cars.
Well, not as much. I mean, flying cars cost like $2 million for Christ's sake. But the hover cars, and they not fly up in the air. They just go mid, like 2 feet. But not the flying cars. We go up in the air, go to the sky. They just hover cars.
It goes up in the air.
Not the ones I see.
Did you see that movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger was at the ski resort and they killed him and brought him back to life and kept cloning him?
Yeah, Total Recall, but that's the movies. I want to see real life.
No, not Total Recall. It's a different movie. I think it's called.
What's the last action hero?
No, I think it's called Seventh Sign or Seventh Day or something. The girl said you look under your eyelid and the dots tell you how many times you've been cloned.
Ooh.
The guy with the glasses was the
Element?
one who.
No.
I'll have to look it up, but that's not. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't no Fifth Element.
Oh no. Sorry.
Well,
Got
in
my
that
science
movie,
fiction movies all messed up.
They had an airplane that had wheels, and they drove on land, and then they could push a button, and the airplane would fold its wings out, and the propeller would come out as a helicopter. And he called it a helo plane or something. But it had wheels and it drove on land. That's the flying car. It had seat belts and a steering wheel and everything like the inside of a minivan. But it just went up in the air like a helicopter, and it could convert. That's a real vehicle. It actually does exist. It wasn't camera tricks or photo optics. Most of those things, the government owns them, and then once the government finishes playing with them, they release it to the public
for a big, hefty price of $2 million.
Now, you saw the movie called Demolition Man, where the car drove itself, auto drive, and all of that. We have those cars. Uber has those cars in California, but it still requires somebody to sit in the driver's seat to make sure the computer does what it's supposed to do, because people on bicycles have gotten hit because the sensor can't see the spokes on a bicycle. The spokes are too thin to break the beam.
And also there's a couple of accidents too as well.
The car might see the reflectors, but if you don't have reflectors on the bike, then you just going to get hit. So we have the technology. It's just you didn't have a car that ran on water, but he got assassinated because it's like the man who created the DeLorean. They can't afford to have a car that needs no mechanic. Look at Saturn. Saturn went bankrupt and didn't get the bailout because it didn't need maintenance. You may go once a year.
Yeah, those cars are hard to fix. Yeah. Those cars are hard to fix, I heard. Wow.
I heard the Kia was hard to fix, but Saturn didn't need no work. It was called the hydrogen car. That's what it's called, hydrogen car. Yeah, he got assassinated, so we never heard anything back. That's basically water. I wish people just knew enough not to go to the media when you create something. Get yourself a bodyguard and have a press conference. That way, nobody will assassinate
you. Or like a patent, and give it to your next of kin, tell them to hide it somewhere. I mean, that's one thing to do. But
I guess no
one does
you
that.
Gotta present.
Yeah.
And then what happened to the work? After he got assassinated, where's the work? Where's the paperwork at? Where's the prototype? Where's everything at? Just up in the air? It's in a warehouse. I'm sure whoever has that time machine has that thing in the warehouse as well.
Indeed. Wow. Yes. As Dr. You and I said, a lot of things are very mysterious now. A lot of things that we are going to see are not we're going to pay for. The average man, they can't afford it. Now we got to go far to get what we need to get. And it's kind of sad. But still, people, we need to get an act together with this voting system, this other system. I mean, we've been messing up the voting system since the 90s. And still you can't get things right? I mean, Christ's sake, everybody's waiting for who to pick for presidency, and still we can't get things right. Seems like we're going to the same old beat of our own drum. That's my final thoughts.
That's our show, folks. Have any questions or comments about today's show? Feel free to send your emails to Cody Brooks at info@bmoretalk.org. That's info@bmoretalk.org. I'm just glad we had this time together. So you have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just got started. And before you know it comes a time we have to say so long. Say so long, Green.
So long, Green. You see him? Tell him be good. If not, be careful.
And on behalf of the crew and the staff, and the people who from yesterday who had those feelings about resentment that your father wasn't in your life or you were adopted or children gave you upsets and things like that, we're going to dedicate our closing song to people like you. So remember that yesterday is the memory, tomorrow is just a dream. Today is a gift, and that's why it's called a present. God loves you, and so do I. And this is dedicated to you. Say good night, Green.
Good night. Good night. Be safe.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
It's gonna be alright.
I know it's gonna be alright. Listen if you will. Yeah.
It's working for my good.
Hey.
Even though I ain't
It's gonna be alright. Say it again.
working for my good.
Gotta do what I could. Even though I ain't. I once was lost in sin. Your grace came and took me in. Gave me a resting place. Thank you for amazing grace. You kept on covering me in the midst of all my wrong. You stayed right by my side. Your love was my guide.
It's working for my good.
Gotta do what I could, even though I ain't what I should. Jermaine, darling, I don't do what I used to do. Ever since he made my life brand new, he changed all my wrongs and gave me a brand new song. That's why I depend on you, 'cause I know you can see me through. You never left me lonely. I know. Hey, I gotta do what I could, even though I ain't what I should. There's no secret what God can do. What He's done for me, He'll do it for you. No matter what I have done, it's gonna be alright. After all that